This is Joe again, after changing out the battery in my camera. Once again, we're back in the guest bedroom. I figured out today that 3 of my 5 area rugs are from Crate & Barrel Outlet, and this is one of them. It's not very complicated in pattern, but it's really, really rich, and I like it a lot. My coverlet is from, and the pillow shams are from Crate & Barrel as well. This is a poster from the exhibition of Charles Ermey McIntosh's work at the LA County Museum of Art that I went to with my friend Roy MacPhail, who is from Scotland, and his then partner Tom. God, that was in 1997.
Almost fractal looking, but it's like little spikes.
This is my beloved
candy crystal. You ever seen candy crystals made like in some old tiny
Tivoli table radio, which isn't getting very good reception at the moment. I think that's KPBS's fault and not the radio's. Looking out of the bedroom window, this is another part of the condo complex, obviously. Part that you look over when you're on the roof deck. This armchair is by William Bear. He was a contemporary of Stickley in the arts and crafts period, and I found this at a junk store in Ventura for $70. It was also more than a few years ago. Artwork here, the piece on top, the bears in the Central Park Zoo, is from the plate from a issue of Harper's Bazaar, I think, from the 1800s. This is much more interesting, and it's a colorized black and white photograph of the semi-pro baseball team that my dad played on in the 1940s. And it hung in the bar that he owned and operated for years, and when my mom sold the bar after he passed away, I snagged it as quickly as I could. So zooming in, this gentleman second from the right on the bottom row is my dad. I just think it's a wonderful photo. Here is, I'm not sure what to call this space in the master bedroom. It's a nook, reading nook of some sort. And the bed and the nightstand and the chest of drawers here are all from room and board. And the wood is cherry, and let me tell you, when a piece this big is in a cherry, it weighs about as much as a Volkswagen. I'm glad I don't have to move it very often. This is a vintage promotional poster for San Diego from the 40s, I think. You can see what it says, San Diego on the Harbor of the Sun, with the stylized planes and the skyline and so forth. It's really cool. This poster is from an exhibition of 2 artists from my home state of South Dakota that made it big in the national and to a certain degree world art scene. This first painting on the top is called "The Prairie is My Garden" by Harvey Dunn. My mom always liked this painting because it reminded her of the homesteads that her relatives lived on west of the Missouri River, west of Mobridge, near where she grew up, around Lando. And the bottom image is of a painting called "Eagle Dancer" by Oscar Howe, and it was done in the mid-1950s. This was from an exhibit at the Journey Museum in Rapid City, 1998, so that was a while ago too. Finally, we're down at the ground floor of this place, walking towards what's obviously the entry. Here in the stairwell, this is just a generic copy of Ansel Adams' photograph. But I really like this. This is an original black and white photograph of part of the town of Bodie, California in, well, I'm not sure what the area is called. It's up by, on the eastern front of the Sierras. And this is a rendering of Roby House, one of Frank Lloyd Wright's homes in suburban Chicago. This abstract piece here is by my friend Tom James, who lives in Durham, North Carolina. It's done with paint and gesso and tissue paper. and obviously a lot of talent. Tom came out to visit a while back and said that if I bought the materials, he would create a piece of art for me, and how can you pass that up? This is just the half bath on the ground floor, but it has some cool stuff in it. This is a piece of art, conceptual art, from the movie Bambi that my friend Steve Carrasco, who works at Disney, gave to me, once again as a housewarming gift. This chair is the one piece of furniture I have from my Grandma Hattie's house, and it's really about the only piece that would fit in my place and that would go with everything else. So I was more than happy to get it. Moving the copies of the Dwell magazine out of the way, you can see that it's probably 100 years old, but the design has really aged well. Over here is a triptych of black and white photos of buffalo, done by Ray Tisdale, who is a distant cousin of mine, lives in the metropolis of Vale, V-A-L-E, South Dakota. Population about 100 on a good day. Here on the top of the toilet is Tony the Tiger, and there is a story behind Tony. He was given to me as a gift from my Aunt Lois and my Aunt Nell, the twin siblings of my mom, on my 10th birthday, so that was almost 37 and a half years ago. And they both were married to guys who were in the military, and they were stationed over in Guam for a while, and I think they bought this in Bangkok. And it's no great piece of art, but what it is a totem that has gone with me from my bedroom in Rapid City to college dorm room to fraternity room to apartment to house. It's been with me ever since I got it, and it means a lot to me. This is another piece of work by Randy Riccoboni. It's a lithograph from one of his most famous original paintings, and it's called The Contestants at Del Mar. It's I think at least partly true to life scene from San Diego Gay Rodeo of about 15 years ago, back when it was a bigger social deal than it is now. But Randy has done other lithographs of his paintings since then, but this was the first. And he kept the number 1, and I was lucky enough to snag number 2 of a run of 30. You didn't realize I had so much art, did you? I'm not sure I did either. This piece is called Watts. It's by my Palm Springs friend Joe McClaskey. And to be honest with you, I'm not exactly sure how it was done. It's like fractal art, but it's on canvas. Obviously it wasn't painted, it was transferred onto the canvas somehow. And God if I know how it was done, but it's pretty cool. This is a Paul McCobb credenza that was another one of my Father Wolf taught me never to pay retail for anything, and damned if I'm going to adventures. I found this for $500 at a junk/antique store in Boulder, Colorado. And the other door is here. I just have taken it off to make that side a little more interesting. And these normally go for about $2,500 to $3,000, so I got a deal on that. Here in the living area, just to back up a little bit, what you see by the ground level is a set of 3 low credenzas from Crate and Barrel that are about 2 feet high. And I'd searched for something like this for I don't know how long, and finally found it at the Crate and Barrel store in Rancho Cucamonga about a year ago. Here we have a photograph by my friend David Verdon of the Botanical Gardens in Denver. Another photo by David of a building advertisement in Chicago. It's called Big Men. It's cute. And the third photo by David is of a flower stall in the Castro in San Francisco. It looks like it's black and white until you zoom in and then the colors pop out, and it's pretty amazing. This is a first edition Klee print that I found at a store in Denver, actually. This is a black and white self-portrait of my buddy Steve Carrasco.